Vocabio. Master English your way.
Un día corriendo por mi casa, mi madre me echa la bronca y cuando me tumbo y paso pues 5 segundos.
Unfair to essentially scold people for pursuing, charitable.
Out of something at the dinner table, and Marge is scolding him, and Homer, and I'm not going to attempt a Homer voice, but
big project fails, and it's almost more like it's not quite a scolding, but we always treat it as like a what went.
Treatment, was I was numb, I was shocked, and I was,
Described it to me, he felt his mind and body go numb. Then he felt his heart start to race.
We're trying to deny what we're feeling and go numb against what we're feeling, whatever it might be.
And so what we want to do is familiarize them with all of these things, but we also want you to know that these are...
Is that 2 years later, having familiarized myself with
Dr. Pitney. So I tried to familiarize myself with some of his work.
And Zoom calls to familiarize you, parents talking to you especially now.
And when big enough, you replant them in a reef. While an important part,
corn and then replanting it and having completely destructed soil is not helping.
Replant ourselves and actually figure out
that we should regret leaving the EU or contemplate rejoining because they're a nastier lot than we realized.
Rejoin the gravitational field. It's effortless, but there's a soothingness.
Autopsy report and rejoining the Republican Party and kind of trying to reclaim.
Hansard was refused permission to rejoin the Labour Party because she is hostile to gender identity.
Nope. Do you want to rejoin?
College-educated white voters that you kind of specified. I'm wondering how you see some intersections here with
molecules needed to specify each amino acid. We now know of.
But, sort of rewinding, when I went to culinary school, they teach you
that was never in place. And so rewind 10 years, 15 years, everyone was so happy with how safe things.
But more of that later. First, let's rewind to 2007.
Down, you can use a pizza cutter or a paring knife, and you're sort of trying to make long...
They've kind of pared down or kind of loosened up a little bit. And
I could, ask you to enroll in a semester-long class about that year, about leadership, but...
Proprietary yeast technology, your competitors in the insulin space are using.
CMC is the host college for the Golden Lion Battalion, which enrolls students from CMC and 15 other institutions.
She to study on her own until she was ready to enroll in a GED class at Brooklyn College. Her teacher describes MOOC
exams of 9 or higher may enroll in one of the intermediate courses.
At that site, but they are deactivated in a really meaningful way, in a sustained way.
That's what DPC means. Deactivates or just relaxes, okay?
Directly activated or deactivated molecular pathways which directly control the creation of new...
Things like that, they get deactivated. It looks very suggestive like the self actually...
Hyperactive, it's actually starting to deactivate. So this is happening for a number of reasons.
Just like ATM machines are supposed to dispense cash, just like big red boots are supposed to be shoes.
Technology for aggression, different kinds of aggression. I've dispensed with that, and for 2 reasons.
The majority of students inquiring about deferments without even thinking about it before.
Oh, by the way, don't put it past me.
I inquired about her tattoos, but she also had bruises on her.
The Public Art Committee has been successful in acquiring the work of a diverse group of living artists, an important goal of...
Though it did not pan out immediately. He had inquired too late for 1955, but Bond's subsequent experience...
Card for students, okay? Again, you would inquire to see if you're eligible. We do have food banks at...
It's not often that a teacher is at a loss for words. I know my students wouldn't think so. I've made 9 wonderful...
Telling who might be more sensitive to pain. But wouldn't that be helpful if we could identify these people?
的时候，我也不会觉得，
因为很难，所以就会给自己找。
Year-old boy who wouldn't take no for an answer.
Development. And if it hadn't been for a thinking environment, it wouldn't even have been mentioned.
I'll continue working my ass off to improve. All that said, I find that this
always an opportunity for designers to improve their craft, to create a product that...
And so there's a lot of public discussion about how do we improve the public health in our cities and how do we get...
His interviews and his performance in Parliament have all improved. And that's an important point as well, because he's
can arm people with improved measurement of what actually is pro-social and what isn't.
For enrichment for college, well, we fix the roof, we mow the lawn, we do the chores, we do the groceries.
The thing that might be mowing down all the herbs overnight, it's either a really
forest were being mowed down all over the world to make more.
I tried once for the IR with paper strewn down the steps. Like
there you go. I don't have to spend hours straightening it or styling it. It is what it is, and I love it. And there you go. I don't have to spend hours straightening it or styling it. It is what it is, and I love it.
And I would say Gareth will straighten me on this. 2009.
Yeah.
So you almost sympathize with the older generation, but you also have to educate.
Heterodox way of looking at how we sympathize with people or should empathize with people. Ask the
tolerate that behavior in real world, nobody would sympathize with that. So I learned how to control my emotions.
Yeah.
So you almost sympathize with the older generation, but you also have to educate.
Its own independence in 1868.
Muchos americanos simpatizaron con la causa de Cuba.
Many Americans.
So I don't really comprehend it. Even the studies on carnivore diet.
Racism as though it's something that we comprehend and we can fix with an idea. We may miss the note.
Hearing people can't fully comprehend. Curious to hear your thoughts and experience on this. So
get to walk. He was 4. For him to comprehend that was I can't even get my how.
Wisdom helps us to comprehend it efficiently. Now we don't realize this when
these are okay. Like let's say you manufacture products and you have people manufacture
or to produce or manufacture a product in an industrial plant, or even to generate
to be self-sufficient in terms of your manufactured goods is absolutely critical to all of this. And of course,
created the code for it, calls it a manufactured product, which I love because it's an aggregate of a lot of flight.
They choose to manufacture the Pinto, and people died and
the men and women who are choosing to enlist or get commissioned into the military compared to civilians.
Enlisted these colleagues and commissioned.
His nonprofit is that he enlists restaurants. He's done that around the Bay Area.
Buildings on this campus, George Benson would enlist students to come move boulders and rocks, and we had
Vocabio, available in Google Play. Download, discover, improve your English.